Welcome back, everyone. It's been a long time. It's been over a year since I've updated. Hopefully I can find more time to make some more, or at least more frequently anyway. So here's the big tank for those of you who have been following along. I've had a few changes with the fish. Very few of the fry that I had in the last video survived, and I've had difficulty increasing the stocking numbers, even with just purchasing more fish. That with increased numbers has come increased mortality, so it just hasn't been working out, even though water quality has always been good. I've been unable to keep any of the bottom feeders alive as well, even with algae wafers and making sure that they have their own diet. They've never lasted more than a matter of weeks. I do have a snail in this tank which has been doing really good, so we'll see how that pans out. The only water test that was bad, or not, I wouldn't even say bad, that was outside where I'd want to see it, was the pH. For the life of the both systems, it's been constantly increasing, even though the typical rule of thumb you hear about and you see online is that the pH will go down over time. But with these tanks, they haven't. Even with different water sources, whether it's rainwater, tap water, treating the water, not treating the water, filtering the water, it's always had a steadily increasing pH. So the plants aren't doing well because of that, because of the pH. They started to get up towards 8.0, and I finally just started to dose it with a pH down solution, which has brought it down. Both tanks are down around 7.0, 7.2, which is great. Might go a little bit lower, but I'll see how it kind of stabilizes where it's at. Tomatoes are doing better, at least in this tank. I got lots of flowers, a few tomatoes on the vine, which is good. And then hopefully that'll even get better with the pH being corrected. The lettuce in this system, I just put a new batch in, so it's just starting to germinate, but it wasn't doing well the last go around, and I'm sure part of that's going to be the higher pH, so hopefully with that being corrected that'll do better this go around. If not, I'll try maybe a different brand or a different variety. I did add some lettuce to this area. It's growing in soil just next to the tank. I changed the lights that I had in there to a better grow light, and then I also added that same light into the deep water culture bed to see if it would help with the lettuce production, and it didn't, which I'm probably going to bet that it's going to be related to the pH being what it was. So we'll see now with the light and proper pH if the lettuce this go around just does better. So because I've had a constant algae problem, I haven't been able to keep any bottom feeders alive in the tank. So it's a curse of being in such a well-lit room. There's always going to be UV hitting the tank. So hopefully with the corrected pH, I will try some more bottom feeders and maybe they'll do better. We'll see how they survive with the water being at what it's at. And let's go take a look at the smaller tank. So here's a small tank. I've closed in the side since the last video, which has significantly helped the algae in the tank because now there's no direct sunlight whatsoever. I've got one bottom feeder in this tank who is doing pretty well. He's been in there for quite a few weeks now. The tomato plants were way too overgrown and producing very little, so I pulled them out. I might try a different variety, and we'll see how it does once with spring rolling in here. I do have strawberries in this tank. They started slowing down, which I'm going to bet is also a product of the high pH in the system, so we'll see. And they also were showing a iron deficiency, which now I'm supplementing along with the pH correction. So it's been a week and they're already starting to bounce back. Leaves are greener, there's new growth all of a sudden, so that's nice to see. I just started some new lettuce in this one. They've just started to pop up, so we'll see how they do with the corrected pH in the tank. I do also have an avocado seed that I've started to germinate in here. It's just split open, just starting to produce some roots, so hopefully I'll have some more updates on that in the future. And yeah, I mean, overall between two systems, been well over a year and a half now, and still happy with it. Still fun to do, even though sometimes it hasn't gone as planned. But yeah, as far as it goes, that's it for this update. I hope you found it interesting. Leave any questions below, and I'll try and answer as best I can. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and thanks for watching.